We are a grassroots organization that have identified that DCS does need oversight. There is no oversight by HHS, zero. Been in touch with them several times, or the state. So we are just a self-appointed oversight group. Wanted to clear that up. Sometimes when you're in the midst of what you guys are all doing, it's all good stuff. But when you're on the outside, watching what's going on here, human trafficking is trafficking human beings for money. DCS seizes children out of homes, have been doing it for decades with no warrants. Violation, big violation of the US Constitution. Every time a child walks across the threshold with a DCS caseworker, there's money exchanged. There's money exchanged in all the courtrooms with all the same players getting paid out of Title IV-E funding. The Title IV-E funding comes from the Adoption Safe Families Act that was enacted by Bill and Hillary Clinton in 1997. So we have parents, not one word about parents today with children. We have outsiders that are we have been trying to work with DCS. We have questioned the DCS Community Advisory Committee for a good year. Where are these children? Where are these children? No answers. We have a human trafficking department that will not communicate with anybody. We can't get answers from them. That's what human traffickers do. They keep in the dark. They're secret. We can't talk about their court cases. We have gag orders put on us.
So I'm gonna have to cut in again just for the same reason, but appreciate you
so much.
expressing yourself. All right, thank you. So next up, David Romero, DCS Oversight Group.
Hello everyone. I want to thank you all for all the work you're doing. I know that many of you really care about what's going on with the children. In all the talking, I heard a lot about programs. One thing that I want us to understand is that we have what's called a law. And the Social Security Act is the actual law that DCS gets their power from. So it's under Title 42 USC that you'll see them claim they have authority. The problem is that in the Social Security Act, the original intent of the Congress was for you guys to be able to give services to children who needed help. This is not for people to go in and take children against parents' will. I'm going to read the actual law to you. Nothing in this act shall be construed as authorizing any federal officials, agent, or representative in carrying out any of the provisions of this act to take charge of any child over the objection of either parents of such child or the person standing in local parentage to such child. What's happening is that DCS is going in with allegations, taking children against what Sandra Day O'Connor in the 2000 Troxel versus Granville case says is a liberty interest. Your children are a liberty interest to you. You can't take them without due process of law. That means you should be prosecuted in a court of record. DCS is going into a court that under Title 42 USC 674, payment to states, is called a neglect and abuse court. They are paid, you have police engagement fees that are paid from Title IV. You have CASA workers paid from Title IV in a cooperative agreement. Y'all keep hearing the words collaboration and cooperative agreements. The cooperative agreements remove you from government status under the Clearfield Trust Doctrine. And this right here tells you that you can't just go taking kids, but nobody's notifying the people that DCS is getting up to 900 kids a month at a time without taking 90 to 95% of the parents to a court of record to prove that there was some type of wrongdoing. So children are being taken. We're losing hundreds and hundreds of kids around Arizona. They have $100 million.
So Mr. Romero, I'm going to have to interrupt you for the same reason.
Thank you, sir.
So thank you for speaking. And then Martin Lynch. Martin Lynch, yes, sir.
Thank you very much. My name's Martin Lynch. I represent We the People Court Services, and they call me Mr. Due Process. The foundation of what we're dealing with is the Adoption and Safe Families Act. If you just go on Wikipedia and look at it, you'll see it talks about taking kids away from parents for this reason, that reason, adoption, everything. There's not a word in here about due process. This is a 41-page document. I only brought the first page. It says that for 3 years in this state, we had juries in juvenile court, and they disappeared for some reason. We don't know why. SB 1294 was introduced this session, and it found its way through a trash can someplace with no debate, and basically says that you can process your case any way you want. At the end, if people think they're being given an injustice, they can ask for and receive a jury trial. So when children are taken because there are Cheerios on the floor, a jury might not agree with that. And then also there's a copy of a federal rule that basically does the same thing. We use a jury as only as necessary at the end of the proceeding, and we believe that that would eliminate some 80 to 90% of the removal